Hey there guys, happy Thursday. I hope your day is off to a great start. I am Shannon Milligan at RVA Home Team, powered by eXp Realty, and today we are talking seller tips. If you missed Tuesday's buyer tips, go back, check out that video, but let's get down to it. Today we're going to discuss what conveys, and that means what stays with the home when you sell. And here's basically the rule of thumb. This is going to be a short tip today. If it's screwed into the wall, it is to stay with the house. If it's hung by a nail, it can go with you to your next home. So let's give you a couple examples of that. Mirrors. So mirrors that are built into the house that are glued in or screwed in, those are to stay. So when you see like the builder grade mirrors that, are just kind of glued in or they're screwed in, those stay with the home and the buyers get to use those. But let's say you went and you upgraded your bathroom and you bought a beautiful mirror from like a nice furniture store and it's hung by a nail. That's yours. That's personal property. So you can take that mirror with you. Another thing that we see a lot of are the televisions that are mounted. So here's the rule of thumb with that. Clearly, your television is yours. It's personal property. But what about the mount? Because the mount is screwed in. This is a case where even though it's screwed in, that television mount is personal property, therefore you can take it with you. The caveat is if you take that mount down and take it with you, you have to fill in the hole and make the wall whole again. So you're going to have to get some tape and mud and all that good stuff and then touch it up with paint. So that's if you take the TV mount down. A lot of times sellers will leave the TV mount because they don't want to go through that hassle. But that's what happens with the TV mount. So that is the exception to something being screwed in. Your refrigerator, that is a negotiable item unless it's one that was built in. By built in, I mean maybe it has the cabinet panels. To me, that's considered built in. But if it's a regular refrigerator that has a cord, that is personal property. You can take that with you unless it has been negotiated in the contract for it to stay. Same thing goes with the washer and dryer. Washer and dryer, that's personal property. You can take that with you unless it was otherwise negotiated. Now here's an interesting one. Your standalone stove. Most people think that the stove stays with the property. Not true. If it has a cord, it's personal property and you really need to have that written into the contract for it to stay. That's what a buyer agent will write in. So I always, as a buyer agent on that side, I know we're talking sellers, but I always write in for all appliances to stay and I list it out. But technically, a free range stove that's just in there with the cord, that is actually personal property and you can take that with you unless otherwise negotiated. Here's the thing about attachment, guys. People want things that they can't have. So let's say you put up grandma's chandelier and it's beautiful and it needs to stay in your family because it's been passed down for generation after generation. Do me a favor, take down that chandelier before we list your home. Yes, I can write in that the chandelier isn't to stay, but one, what if we forget to write that into an offer? We're human too. But two, people don't want something until you tell them that they can't have it. And then when they know that they can't have it, they want it more. It's the craziest thing, but take it down, replace it with a cheap light from Lowe's that's pretty and looks good, but replace something and pack that up and let's not even tempt people with it. So that's kind of how we work with personal property in that sense. So again, the rule of thumb is if it is screwed in, it stays, with the exception of like the television mount, or if it's hung by a nail, it goes. I once had an instance where there were cabinets in the garage and we all thought, of course, the cabinets, because it was full of stuff, were screwed in. No, they were hung by a nail. And attachment can become a sticky issue in real estate, so it's best that we just discuss it up front. And if you really want something, if you want to keep it, take it down and replace it with something else. In the instance of the cabinets, it would have been nice if it would have said, the cabinets are not to convey. But we all thought they were to convey because they were screwed in. But really, they weren't screwed in. They were hung by a nail. If you have a question on attachment, because it can be a little sticky subject, please message me or put it in the chat box. I would be happy to answer any questions for you if it's a specific question. And of course, if you're too shy, send me a message. I'm happy to help. Hey, John, thank you. It is an interesting topic because people get confused of what can stay and what can go. Another one, by the way, blinds. Your window blinds, they stay. They're screwed in. They definitely stay. Curtains and curtain rods. Curtains, or the drapes, they go with you. They're personal property. But the rods, they are to stay because they are screwed in. So if you really have an affinity for your rods, maybe you brought them over from India or somewhere special, take them down. Either have no curtains and rods up or put up cheap rods, but the curtains do stay unless otherwise negotiated. Hey, Laura. Hey, Andrew. Nice to see you all. John. All right, guys, I'm going to head out today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and join me on Tuesday for more buyer education. Thursdays are seller education. In the meantime, if you would like the guide that I have, I don't have a copy sitting with me, but I've got a ton of them. If you would like your guide from listing to close, let me know, message me. I'd be happy to email that out to you today. And it just gives you tips and tricks on selling your house. And of course, if you're thinking about selling, guys, give me a call. We have probably about 10 or 12 buyers right now. We have no houses for them to sell. I'm not kidding. The inventory is below a 3-month supply. It's a problem. I sold my seller's house too fast, and she's going to have to go into an extended stay unless we find her a home. So I'll probably do another video maybe this weekend about what we actually need. So in case you know somebody that's looking to sell, have them give us a call, and maybe we can matchmaker, make me a match. I promise I won't sing again. I'm a better realtor than I am singer. Way better. All right, guys, have a great one. Again, Shannon Milligan from RVA Home Team, powered by eXp Realty. Bye, y'all.